Okay, so Rod, lately I've been hearing a lot about quantum computing. Could you tell me just a little outline of what it is?
Okay. Well, in the simplest of terms, it's using quantum mechanics to get data into particles in a totally different way than normal computers get data in and out of them, so that we can actually run problems in a totally different way. The the best analogy that I've been able to figure out so far, because I'm no means an expert on this, but the best analogy I've been able to find out so far is where a classical computer is one person working on one problem at a time, whereas a quantum computer is many people working on different variations of the same problem at the same time.
Now, who was the first company that made a quantum computer? Was it that IBM?
I believe so.
And they measure it by qubits?
Yes, quantum bits.
Quantum bits. So how many bits?
I don't think there's a one-to-one mapping. Because if you think about it, they're talking about I believe the most advanced chip they got out right now is like 70 qubits versus your typical computer nowadays is going to have 17 billion bits.
Bits and qubits are two different things.
Completely different things.
So, isn't it Google that has the most qubits, or is it somebody else?
Last I heard it was Google. And
Okay.
So that might have changed since the last time I looked, but last time I looked it was Google.
Okay. So, the difference is something, what is it called when they're every place at the same time?
It's a superposition.
So, normally, like, protons and neutrons are in a fixed position, so to speak.
Yeah. And the idea, which I don't totally get myself, but it sounds like they're using probability to determine where the qubit should be, and then they can measure it to find out where it is.
Flexibility?
It does have some flexibility there, and for certain tasks, it does work a lot better for things like when you have to search, like if you're searching a database, it can hit multiple places at the same time to say, is it there, is it there, is it there? Instead of having to like poke through each line, it can poke through multiple lines at a time. But, that only works for tasks where, like, having more people working on the same task is going to actually help.
Right.
If it's something where, one task has to finish before the next task can be done, quantum computing isn't going to help with that.
So it's not for everything.
It's not for everything.
Well, do you think that we'll have a quantum computer in our house one day?
Possibly. I mean, it depends on what all they find uses for it. As I think right now, the tasks that quantum computing is the best suited for at the moment, at least that we can use it for, is not the kind of stuff that we'd be doing in our homes.
Right.
So far, it's really more scientific and cloud computing type endeavors, which aren't done here. Anyways.
So really, right now, the average person wouldn't have a reason to have one.
I don't believe so.
And if they sold them, it'd probably be really expensive.
Yes. But then I heard that IBM does let people actually have time on their quantum computer, so you can actually sign up for an account, and then you can upload some code to have it run on that computer to see how it turns out.
Well, that'd be interesting.
It would be. I've heard about it for a few times, but I've never got around to actually trying it out myself.
Yeah, that would be an interesting thing. Would you have to go to wherever Google is? And
it's not Google, it's IBM that's doing it.
IBM is doing this?
Yes.
Even though Google has more qubits.
Yeah, they have their own thing, but it's IBM that has the open interface.
Oh, okay. Well, wow, that was interesting. It's good heads up on what it is. So we are using a classical computer.
We're using everybody is using a classical computer, because that's your bog standard computer that's, it's been around for, ages.
But if you were really lucky, you could get your hands on through IBM and sign up on their platform and maybe go to wherever they are.
Well, at least from what I've heard, you don't go to where they are. I mean, if you're really lucky, you can go to where they are. Some people have done that. But I think for the average person that's using the system, you go to their website and then you upload, the code that you want the quantum computer to try to run onto the website, and then they will go send it off to the quantum computer and send you back the results.
It'd be fun just to, even if it was a tiny little search, just to try it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we could certainly try the system out sometime and see if we can find something useful for it to do, even if it is a, silly little thing.
Well, now, the quantum computer is kind of like the computers of old. It takes up a whole room, doesn't it?
At the moment, it does. And I think that's, at least from what I've heard, and this could be also changing, it's more for the support equipment around the actual processor than the processor itself.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for giving us a little heads up on what's coming out in the future, so we'll be prepared for it once it happens.
Yes.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.